2 is the first term, 4 is the second term, 6 is the third term, and 8 is the fourth term. So what is D? D stands for common difference. We can find D by using the formula the second term minus first term. And for this sequence, D equals to 2. So the first term we all know is A, which is equals to 2. For the second term is A plus D, which is equals to 2 plus 2 equals to 4. To find the third term, you just have to add another D, like this. So the third term would be 6, just like the sequence given. The same thing applies to the fourth term, except that you have to add another D. And finally, the fourth term is 8. But why is there n minus 1 in the general formula? This is because the relationship between n and the number of times you need to add D is minus 1. Basically, if you use formula A plus n minus 1 D, you will also get the same results. As an example, the first question, find the common difference for the following sequence. Using the formula, just substitute 2 and 11, and then the answer will be negative 9. Okay, so next question, to find 22nd term for the sequence, just substitute everything into the formula, but we don't know D yet, so we have to find it first. 14 minus 19 equals to negative 5. Then just substitute everything into the formula. Finally, the 22nd term is negative 86.
Now, let's learn on how to calculate the value of n term. The question is find the 23rd term for this sequence. From this sequence, we can get that A is 3.2 because 3.2 is the first term in the sequence and n is 23. All we need to find out is D. D is equals to the second term minus the first term. This is the first term and this is the second term. So 2.9 minus 3.2 and you can get D is negative 0.3. From the formula Tn equals to E plus bracket n minus 1 times D, we can substitute the n, the A and the D into the formula. So 23rd term equals to 3.2 plus 20 plus in bracket 23 minus 1 times negative 0.3, and we can get that the 23rd term from the equation is negative 3.4.
Assalamualaikum. So today's question, we have find A if the 12th term of a sequence is 45 and the common difference is negative 12. So the first thing that we have to do is we need to identify the formula, which is Tn equals to A plus n minus 1 D. So check on that. So we have to substitute everything or the info that we already have in the question inside the formula. Check. We will get 45 equals to A minus 132. which means the 8 equals to 177. Easy.
Now let's learn how to find the number of term n. The question is 5p minus q, 3p minus 2q, p minus 3q, and the last term is negative 33p minus 20q. First, we need to find the d. So we can get the d from the second term minus the first term. So d is equals to 3p minus 2q minus 3p minus q. Don't forget the bracket. So when we put the bracket, the minus here and the negative here, it will become plus, and we can get d, which is d is negative 2p minus q. So from this formula, we can substitute all the information that we get, that we can obtain from the question. So the tn is the last term, negative 33p minus 20q equals to a, which is the first term, 5p minus q, and plus bracket n minus 1, and don't forget the bracket d. So d is negative 2p minus q. So, and then we need to expand the the n minus 1 and the negative 2p minus q. As we expand them, all of them, and we solve them, we can get this equation. So, and then we can bring the 7p to the other side, so we can solve the p's, and then we need to swap sides. It will be easier for us to find the n if we swap sides. And then the negative 2 and p minus nq, we can factorize n, we can get n. So n in bracket negative 2p minus q. And as we know that both of these n and the negative 2p minus q is multiplied, so as we bring the negative 2p and minus q to the other side, it will become divide. And then the negative 40p minus 20q, we factorize 20, we cut them both off, and n is 20.
Okay, for this question it's really easy because we can determine the first term and the last term. It has been given that we have to search the number of terms for the multiples of 8 between 100 and 300. So what we have to do is first we have to find the first term, so which is 8 times 13, or we have to find ourselves. So the first term is 104 and the last term is 296 because it said is only between 100 and 300. And then we have to use the formula, then substitute all the infos that we already searched, and then we will get the number of them, which is 35.
Given an arithmetic progression 0.4, 1.3, 2.2, find the smallest value of n such that the n term is greater than 90. Term is greater than 90, so we need to use the formula, which is a plus n minus 1d is greater than 90. Then we have to substitute the value of a 0.4 and d 0.9 into the equation. Then calculate and we get the answer. N is greater than 100.5. So the smallest value of n is 101.
For your DSKP tu, dia ada tanya macam mana nak dapat formula of TN yang the first part tu. So that one tu kena, kalau dia soal you all kena tahu macam mana nak dapatkan what is TN for arithmetic progression. A plus n minus 1d tu kena tahu macam mana. Okay, we have D. D can be okay, your series, so this is AP, so you're gonna have a common difference. Okay, so kalau D tu positive, meaning series of number tu dia akan increasing order, perasan tak, dia makin naik. That one is for D positive. And then for D negative, okay, you're gonna see that the sequence will be decreasing. Dia punya number tu kalau you perasan lah. So that one kalau macam katalah you nak macam you tengah jawab soalan kan, tiba you kira kan, and then you dapat D positif, tapi bila you usah, you tengok soalan you punya number tu reducing, tapi you dapat D tu positif, so something wrong somewhere. That one you kena alert. Maksudnya maybe you tersilap formula lah, you macam maybe you buat T2 minus T3 sedangkan dia sebenarnya T3 minus T2, dia yang after minus dengan yang before. Boleh macam tu. So dia D tu can be decimal, can be fraction, series yang ada involved dengan variable pun ada, macam yang Adam ada show tu kan, yang question B tu. So that was T. T tu term tu tau. Term tu. So nanti you akan jumpa dengan S pula. Sum of the first n terms. Kita tengok yang handout yang diorang ada prepare ni. Okay, yang ini actually kalau dikata find the value of D, actually dia akan kata this is arithmetic progression. So you tak perlulah nak check on whether the sequence has a common difference or not. Dia akan cakap situ this is arithmetic progression. So dah tak payah check dah. So you terus je check on the value of A dan juga D. So for this case D, sebab dia ada banyak term kan. So which one, so you tahu D ni ada banyak formula tau. D apa tolak apa kan. So which one yang you nak choose as the best one? Nak buat T3 minus T2 ke nak buat T2 minus T3? You rasa macam mana? Which one that you should use? Contohlah macam question C. Kan fraction ni you nak buat you ada apa? You ada T1, you ada T2, you ada T3. So since D, you boleh buat either T2 minus T1 or you boleh buat D tu T3 minus T2. Tapi which one is simpler? You nak ambil yang segabai, kalau macam you ambil 1 and T3 is 1 and 1 over 4 kan, macam payah tak nak kira ni. This one, D yang the second D, 1 and 1 over 4 minus 3 over 4. Susah kan? Betul tak? Compared to kalau you pilih T1, 3 over 4 minus 4 over 4. Do you think which one is simpler or easier? Macam boleh congak je which one. That's the first one. So sebenarnya kalau yang macam Adam buat tadi, to check on the series, whether the series is an AP or not, betul tak? You have to check on dia punya D. D1 tu kalau dia ada 4 terms, maksudnya dia ada D1, D2, D3. You have to check on all the D's. Okay, all the D's. If D1 equal to D2 equal to D3, then you say that the series is an AP. Dia akan kalau macam soalan yang itu, dia akan tanya macam ni, determine whether the following sequence is an AP or not. Itu cara dia. You have to check on all the D's. Okay, kalau even katalah 2D sama tapi satu tak sama, you terus kata dia is not an AP. Maybe D1 equal to D2 but not equal to D3. You akan kata dia not an AP. Tapi kalau macam yang soalan yang ni, yang group Z ni, dia memang dah masuk ke T for TN for AP. So you know that the series semuanya memang AP. So you pilih D tu satu je. Okay, satu je yang paling senang. So for C ni tak payahlah ambil 3, T3 dengan T2 kan. You just choose T2 dengan T1. Lagi macam senang lah. So 3 over 4 minus 1 over 4 will be 1 over 2. Apa-apa pun kena simplest jangan biarkan dia 2 over 4. Ada salah. Kena 1 over 2. You have to alert on the figure. Kalau benda tu boleh simplify lagi, you simplify kan. Okay, boleh tak? And then saya perasan ramai yang D tu, kalau D negatif kan, you ramai tak buat bracket. Contohlah yang B ni tadi kan. You know that B, A is 11 and D2 minus 11 will be berapa ni? Negative 9 Yang ni yang saya kata, kadang-kadang ada orang silap tau. You know that the sequence tu dia reducing, betul tak? Reducing, the pattern is reducing. Okay, so kalau reducing takkanlah D dia positif. So of course your D must be negative. That one you have to alert. Let's do B B. Dia kata evaluate the 22nd term for the following sequence. Okay, 19, 14, 9. Betul tak? So actually the question ask for T22. Sebab T22 ni maksudnya dia you punya series tu ada T1, T2, T3, bla 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 bla, ada T22 until N. Until N term. You tak tahu sampai mana lah. So this one ni you know that the formula is A plus n minus 1D. Okay, n tu 22. So 22 minus 1, 21. Okay, D ni jadi you boleh buat apa tau? 9 minus 14 lah. So this one you dapat negative 5. So saya perasan tadi ramai yang tak buat bracket. So kalau negative 5 dia mesti bracket macam ni. A plus n minus 1D. Bubuh bracket because bracket represent multiplication, betul tak? So kalau you tak buat bracket dia jadi macam 19 plus 21 minus 5 pula. Dia jadi macam plus minus bukannya multiplication. So you have to put bracket. Kat sini penting. And then macam tadi saya kata, you know that the sequence is in descending order, so your D should be negative. Kena alert benda-benda tu. Okay, apa answer dia? T22. T5 berapa dapat? Negative 86. Dapat kan? Try to answer C. Find the value of A. A means the first term. When the 17th term of a sequence is 3. Maksudnya, you know that the 17th term, that one is represented by T17. Tak? T17. So you keluarkan info tu. Dia macam memang dia banyak main dengan ayat. For progression ni banyak main dengan ayat, you have to keluarkan benda tu. What is represented by 17 term? That is T17. So buatkan dia T17 equal to 3. A common difference dia 0.15. So you tulis sebelah dia. D equal to 0.15. So benda-benda ni when you want to answer a question, that one tu benda-benda yang dia bagi sentence tu you kena keluarkan. Okay, you represent that one as apa. And then you know that T17, takkan you nak biar je T17, betul tak? Takkan nak biar T17 gitu-gitu je. Since you know that this is an AP and you know that T17 tu dia ada formula dia, betul tak? T17 tu actually is Tn is A plus n minus 1D. So sekarang ni saya nak you macam dah master lah kan. You tahu Tn is A plus n minus 1D, betul? So kalau you ada T1, sebab itulah T1 tu okay, T1 tu kenapa Adam kan, masa slide Adam tadi, kenapa dia kata T1 tu A? Kenapa? You rasa why we say that T1 is A sebenarnya? And dia 1, betul tak? And dia 1. So bila A plus 1 minus 1, Y minus 1 akan jadi 0. So 0 times D, 0. Tinggal A je. That's why we say that T1 tu A. Okay. Lepas tu now laju-laju pula. What is T2? Sebab saya nak you all buat benda ni dah ada dalam kepala dah. You know that what is T2? T2 dia akan jadi A plus N2 2. So kalau 2 minus 1 dia jadi 1. 1 times D dia akan jadi D. So what is T2? Saya nak macam benda ni ada dalam kepala you. Oh, T1 is A, T2 is A apa? A plus apa? A plus D. Nampak? Dia macam yang D tu dia akan kurang satu daripada N tu. Okay, what is T3? Kalau T3, A plus apa?
A plus 2D.
Dia macam N minus 1. A plus 2D, very good. Kalau saya kata T7, dia akan jadi apa? T7. A plus apa?
Plus 6D.
Ada A plus 6D, nampak tak? Dia akan macam tu. So sekarang ni kalau T17 sebenarnya you know that T17 ni dia akan jadi A plus apa? A plus 16D. So this one you kena cekap, nampak tak? A plus 16D. So dekat sini dia kata dia nak apa? Dia nak A tadi ya? Dia nak A. Dia kata A berapa What is A? So you substitute D as 0.15. Dah dapat lagi 0.15 gini. Nampak? Ni sebenarnya macam skor rendah lah jajannya kan. So the concept of additional mathematics dekat level atas tu je. Okay? You go through lah bawah ni semuanya main dengan algebraic. That one memang dah laki kira tambah tolak gitu je kan. Dia yang masa sekolah rendah ke apa kan. So kira lah 16 times 0.15 berapa. Lepas tu you dapat apa? A plus 2.4 equal to 3. So you dapat A tu 3 minus 2.4. Ni jangan silap pula kau pergi bahagi ke apa ke. Dia mesti 3 minus 3 minus 2.4. Sebab you nak eliminate 2.4 tu. So dapat 0.6. Sebiji macam jawapan. Calculate the value of n of each of the following. Ada nak tanya apa-apa tak? Macam siapa macam confused? Kenapa kita kena cari Tn In order to determine the value of n, maksudnya how many terms for the series, why you use Tn? Kenapa you kata 30 sama dengan 3 plus n minus 1, 3? Apa benda tu?
Sebab 32 the last term yang ada.
Betul, itu last term yang ada. So you katalah yang last term tu sebagai Tn. Okay. You all tak tertanya-tanya ke? Korang nak ikut je ke? Korang kan suka argue kan? Argue tu sifat korang kan? Betul tak? Korang tak nak argue ke? Why we state that the last term as TN, lepas tu you dapat N, you kata kalau this case you dapat N dia 10, lepas tu you kata your AP ni ada 10 terms. Kenapa? Letak je last term ni sebagai TN. Macam dia dapat N tu 10, dia 10 term lah. Macam korang tak nak tak ni ke? Macam kenapa macam tu? Kalau macam, okay, sekejap saya nak tanya awak lah. Saya ada T1, saya ada T2, saya ada T3. Okay, how many terms for this AP ni?
3.
Kenapa ada 3 term? Cepatlah kita nak gaduh ni. Kan? Nak gaduh ni, nak argue supaya you all faham betul-betul. Kenapa yang kalau you kata T1, T2, T3, term tu ada 3. You tengok pada mana? T1, T2, dot. Tak, yang ni tak ada dot. Dia macam mati. Dia macam ni. Kalau dia ada dot, meaning that dia the series tu ada lagi term lain. But for this kind of question, dia mati. Dia macam dot tu in between, tapi dia ending dengan one term. One term tu kita panggil dia as last term. Yang ni sebenarnya to find the number of term n given the last term. Ni sebenarnya case yang given the last term. Okay, yang ni lah last term kita. Ni last term kita. So kalau perasan, kalau okay, you masing-masing nampak tak series you tu? Dia semuanya ada something, ada 3 and then dot, lepas tu dia ending dengan satu term. So that one tu you punya series tu dia mati dekat satu. Dia mati, ada benda lah. Dia ada ending dia. The last term. So, let's say saya ada T1, T2, T3, you kata tadi N dia ada 3. Tapi kalau saya ada T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, N dia ada berapa? Ada berapa term? N tu number of term. Number of term must be integer. Sebab tu nanti ada problem solving group lain buat. Kalau you berjumpa dengan inequalities greater ke apa ke, you dapat N greater than decimal, kena pilih dia as integer. N equal to integer. Because ada ke term dia kan T1, T2, T3, term first term, second term, third term, ada ke term yang ke 2.3? Ada ke? Tak ada kan? Dia mesti integer. Mesti first term, second term, third term dia mesti integer. So kalau saya ada T1, this question, saya kata saya ada T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. Okay, how many terms in the series? Ada berapa term? 5 term. 5 term pandai kau Amma. Okay, katalah saya bubuh lagi. T1, T2, T3, lepas tu dot, last kali T100. Okay, how many terms in the series?
100.
Kenapa kata 100? Kenapa you kata N dia 100? Kenapa you kata N dia 5? Kenapa you kata N dia 3? Kenapa you tengok mana? Apa benda yang you tengok sebenarnya to get the number of term? You nampak sebenarnya indicator for the series tu ada berapa term, you tengok pada last term. Perasan tak? Last term dia, ending dia T100. Maksudnya ada 100 term lah dalam you punya series tu, APU tu. Kalau last kali tu T5, maksudnya ada 1, 2, 3, 4 sampai 5. So last kali T5, so ada 5 terms lah dalam tu. That's why you akan kata the last term as TN. Okay, TN sebab bila you tahu you kata last term STN, you cari N dia, you know the value of N for the last term, then you terus tahu number of terms for the AP. Like that. Nampak tak? Kan perasan tak? Akhir sekali T5, ada 5 term. Last kali T100, ada 100 term. Kalau last kali kalau last kali T25, so ada how many terms for the AP? Last kali T25. So ada 25 terms. Sebab kita akan kata the last term tu sebagai TN. Nampak tak? Okay, saya nak tunjuk yang ni kejap before kita dismiss. Given an AP 9 to 95, find the smallest value of n such that the n term is less than negative 100. So, dia kata the n term tu TN. Dia kata less than 100. Negative 100 maksudnya you use sign of inequalities. Less than meaning that tanda yang kurang tu, less than, okay, less than 100. So you walaupun guna TN ni as the formula lah, A plus N minus 1D, less than negative 100. Lepas tu you substitute A kan, you substitute D dia negative 7 kan sebab dekat sini You tahu A is 9, D is -7, you substitute semua gergang dung dandung. Lepas tu yang this part ni, dia back to chapter 2. Ingat tak chapter 2 tu kita banyak main dengan inequalities. Kalau you ada -7n less than -116, how to get n? You kena buat apa? You kena buat -116 divide dengan -7. Remember, when you divide with negative number, okay, divide with negative number, invert the sign of inequalities. Sebab tu kalau kita tengok kat sini, kenapa tiba-tiba daripada less become greater, you all macam tak pelik ke? Sebab apa dia jadi less become greater? Sebab nampak last kali tu, n greater than 16.57. Kenapa? Because of when you divide with negative number, you have to invert the sign. So from less, from less ni, dia becomes greater. Sebab divide with negative number. Lepas tu you dapat apa tau? You dapat decimal, n greater than 16.57. Saya kata tadi n must be integer. So cerita dia macam ni, 16.57 ni in between 16 dengan 17. Okay, 16 dengan 17. So kalau n tu dia kata greater than 16.57, so 16.57 somewhere lah kan, dekat sini kan, kat situ. So kalau dia kata n greater than 16.57, dia besar lagi. Dia besar lagi daripada 16.57. So between 16 and 17, which value is suit to represent n greater than 16.57? You kena ambil either one je. You sama ada you ambil 16, you ambil 17. Sebab itu je integer for 16.57. Ambil 16 ataupun besar dari dia 17. So which one yang represent n greater than 16.57? The value is 17 sebab dia besar. That's why kita kata n equal to 17, dia punya last kali tu. Kan, sebab dia kata find the smallest value of n. So that the n tu less than negative, sorry yang ni tadi salah negative 100 kan, negative 100. So n 17, nampak tak? Kalau contoh lain saya bagi example lain. Kalau dia kata n less than 16.57, what is n? Dia kurang daripada 16.57. Dia akan ambil yang belah kiri. Apa jawapan dia? 16, very good. Okay, kalau saya bubuh n less than 16.11, contoh 16.11. 16.11 dekat depan tau, 16.11. Tapi kalau saya kata n less than 16.11, 16.11 kat depan, dekat dengan 16. Tapi kalau saya kata less, kita ambil yang mana? Less mesti ke kiri kita ambil apa?
16.
16, very good. Kalau saya kata n greater than 16.11, what is n? Dia besar daripada 16.11. Dia ke kanan.
17.
17, very good. So sekarang ni, dia bukannya kisah kan 0.11 ke, 0.57 ke, janji inequality tu kiri ke kanan. Kalau dia kiri, ambil yang apa, integer yang belah kiri. Kalau dia greater, ambil integer yang belah kanan. Nampak tak? Dia punya cara kita nak decide. So ingat remember, kalau dia ada inequalities, you get n, dia dapat inequalities yang n greater than decimal. Decimal tu you have to write at least 4 significant figures. Okay, 4 significant figures. And then you choose an integer based on this condition. Yang saya cerita ni, ni penting. Ni memang benda penting dalam progression. Benda ni akan banyak main dengan benda ni. Tak kisahlah AP ke GP ke. Boleh? Sampai sini saja. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye.